All right, all right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, the Hakim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amwan back at you with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be called Pressing Toward the Goal. All right? Because we have to keep our mind focused and remember that we're pretty much all in a race for this thing, man. All right? And at any given time, you slowing down in this race, you can be left behind. Okay? So, we got to keep ourselves temperate, balanced in this race. All right? Not wear yourself out and not make yourself slothful, not running out of, fire, quench not the spirit, right? But you got to be right there, temperate, meaning balanced. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah is about balance. And, when you are not balanced, all right, that's an abomination to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right? So, matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. This is Proverbs 11:1. My bad, I was about to read it. There. This is Proverbs 11:1. It says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and a just weight is his delight. All right. So he's all about balance. Okay. And you yourself have to be balanced in this truth. All right. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. And it says, now ye know, know ye not that which they that know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate. Right? Every man that strive for the mastery is temperate in all things. All right. Temperate goes into balanced. All right.
Strong's G 1467. Ekratuamai. Ekratuamai.
All right. And it says to be self-controlled, continent. All right. Having self-government, to exhibit self-government conduct oneself temperately. You see? So it goes into you having control of yourself, or having balance within yourself. It says, in a figure drawn from athletes who, in preparing themselves for the games, abstain from unwholesome food, wine, and sexual indulgence. All right. So, you striving, as a matter of fact, that's another reason why we tell brothers, that if you're in this truth, man, a woman, all right, is having a woman is something that, you got to kind of get away from. All right. Not saying that you got to leave your wife or anything like that, but your wife, all right, if you do have one, she has to be in order and understand that you are going to be giving yourself up to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah before anything. All right. And those that have one of those women that are nagging, all right, they could pretty much, mess up your focus. All right. Keep you all over the place because she wants you to worry about her more than anything. All right. And, even giving yourself up to sexual indulgence, all right, that could drain you out, drain your energy. Okay. It says abstain from unwholesome foods. Yeah, you have to stay away from certain foods. Certain foods could put put demons on you and things like that. All right, you got to be more on that proper diet. Okay, the proper diet will keep you clean, pure. within yourself, keep you more spiritually in tune with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. And then it says wine, you don't want to be constantly drinking to the point where you always, unless when you do drink, or you got to do it in moderation. All right. You got to know when to stop, when, how to hold yourself back. All right. There's a time and a purpose for everything. All right. So if you do drink wine, make sure you're moderate with it. Don't be just drinking away. All right. Next thing you know, you off of wine, you can get pretty tipsy off of wine, but, drinking too much wine and things like that will make you, lazy. All right. So it says in a figure drawn from athletes who, in preparing themselves for the games, abstain from unwholesome food. All right. Yeah. Well, just look at it like this is the big game we're preparing ourselves for. All right. The return of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. We're preparing ourselves for this championship game. All right. And pretty much this whole time, what you're doing is you are playing in, the quarterfinals, the semifinals, preparing yourself for that championship game, trying to get to that championship game. And by the time, if you do make it there, all right, you're going to what? You're going to play your heart out. All right. You're going to give it your all in this truth. Okay. And, going back, it said what? It said, know ye not that they which run in a race run all right, but one receiveth the prize, because all of us is pretty much running for the race. You see, many are called and few are chosen. So by us all running to this race, only few are going to receive that prize. So we have to run and give it our all, give it our best, that we may obtain, all right, the reward that's at the end of it. Okay. And it says, in every man that striveth for the mastery, which is this is something that we're striving for, to be, let me see what it says for mastery. All right, to be a master of, it says to enter a contest, content in gymnastic games, to contend with adversaries, fight, to contend, struggle, all right, with difficulties and dangers, to endeavor with strenuous zeal, strive to obtain something. You see, you gotta, that's the main one right there. All right. You gotta strive to strive and fight to obtain that reward, giving it your all. It's very important that in these last days, man, you give it your all. Okay. Because these times is these times that we've been prophesying for a while now is about to drop right before your face, man. We're literally already entering. We're already pretty much already in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. All these things are happening right before your eyes, little by little. So it's all gonna happen all at one shot. So you don't want to wait till it all happens at one shot. That's why we say stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. You don't want to try to get ready later once everything starts breaking, when all hell starts breaking loose. It's harder to get into the groove of something at the last minute. All right. Matter of fact, a good example to think of is like when you will go, when you will have school or something like that, right? And you have to have a test. You have to have a test or a paper or essay in by a certain time, by a certain date. All right, you will want to actually do that way before it's due. Why? So you can have more time to think about it, make sure everything is in order when you're putting together that paper. So when you hand it in, you're handing in the best, paper that you can possibly give. Why? Because you had all that time to think about it and how to deliver your message. Whereas opposed to if you just wait to the end where the due date is tomorrow, which I use that analogy because I was like that in school. I was off when I would do things like that. I would wait to the last minute. And then what would happen? I would just turn in something for the hell of it. And usually when you just turn in something like that, it's not right. You see? You're all over the place. Why? Because you didn't do it temperate. You didn't do it with balance. All right. So now you just handed in something you just put together that last minute And who knows what you really wrote on there. All right. And then you end up failing. You get a bad grade because you've rushed through it. You know, when you rush through things, all right, you get bad results. All right. So you want to do the same thing with this truth, man. You want to take heed to it early. All right. And strive for that mastery, like it says. All right. So it says to contend with adversaries, fight. Yeah, because we're in a fight. We're in a fight. We are in a fight with our adversaries, man, the enemies, those that are anti-Hamashiach, that are against the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And then vice versa for them, because they look at us like we're against their society, which we are. So, you know, we have to stay on our toes. Okay. And it says to contend, struggle with difficulties and dangers. Well, yeah, you know, scriptures say that, you know, through much tribulation, I shall enter into the kingdom. Okay. As a matter of fact, we ourselves, all right, as we're striving for the masteries, we are going through much tribulation. We are broken down to be built back up stronger every time. You know, every unfortunate situation that you get put through is a test of your faith. All right. These are things that we have to go through. All right. In the process, as a matter of fact, let me grab damn, a whole bunch of scriptures just popped up in my head. This is Ecclesiasticus. Salakia. I haven't even shared. There you go. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 2:1, and it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at that last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." So we're going to be going through many tribulations, man. We're going to be brought down, all right, to a low estate. But we have to take it cheerfully, all right? What does it say? Despise not the chastening of the Lord. Despise not the chastening, KJV. All right, this is Proverbs 3:11, and it says, "My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, neither be weary of his correction." All right, we can't get down when we get chastised by the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because at the end of the day, all right, we're chastised because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua chastised those that he loves. You see, Hebrews, let me grab that. Hebrews 12:6, and it says, "For whom the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, good dealeth with you." Salakia. Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. You see, so if you're not going through a chastisement process, man, and being persecuted, all right, going through much tribulations, and you pretty much just chilling and not having a care in the world and not going through things, then man, that's because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is not dealing with you. All right. And if he's not dealing with you, you are considered as a bastard and not a son. But see, those that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua loveth and deal with, man, he gonna chastise them in many levels. All right. Let me get I believe it's First Peter. It might be 2 Peter 4. All right. No, is it that? Give me 1 second. Concerning the fiery trial, KJV. Or 1 Peter 4:12. Salakia. Thought it was 7 for some reason. This is 1 Peter 4:12, and it says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice in so much as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. You see? And we are called into this ministry to suffer, man. You got to remember that. All right. Yahushua had to suffer, so we have to follow in those footsteps. We have to bear a cross the same way he bared his own cross, man. All right. And again, if you're not suffering in this truth, man, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is not dealing with you. Okay. So we have to rejoice in these times when we are, brought to that lower state. As a matter of fact, let me grab Acts. I believe it's Acts. Give me 1 second. I know it's in Acts. For when I am strong, when I am weak, I am strong, KJV. Oh, I was thinking about something else. Slakia. This is 2 Corinthians 12 and 10. And it says, therefore, I take pleasures in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. You see, that's when you're at your strongest point, man, when you're at the bottom like that. Because that's when we put our trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And you have to trust the process, man, that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, is pretty much breaking you down to build you back up. So at the end of the day, none of these things, all right, are gonna separate us from the love of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, like it tells you in Romans. All right, Romans 8 and 35, and it says, who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? See, none of these things are going to separate us, all right, from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, we're going to keep on striving for that mastery. See, you got to strive for the truth all the way until death. And then it says, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. And it says, nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Hamashiach, Yahushai, our Lord. You see? So none of these things, all right, are going to be able to separate us from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because we know what's the process that we have to go through in order for us to reach that kingdom. You see, you can't, the kingdom is just not given to you and say, here it is, you're an Israelite. No, man, you have to suffer for that kingdom. In order for Yahushua to be at the position that he's at now, he had to suffer, man. So we have to go through the same exact thing. And none of these things that we suffer, all right, are to be compared to what's about to be given to us as a reward. All right, like it tells you in 18, all right, it says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. You see? So these sufferings that we going through, man, this is just for a moment. All right? Matter of fact, there's a scripture that goes like that. For our light affliction, for it is for a moment, KJV. This is 2 Corinthians 2 Corinthians 4 and 17, it says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far exceeding and more, a far more exceeding an eternal weight of glory. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. All right, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. And that's what faith goes into. See, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. All right. So the things that we don't see, we still got our heart. All right. We still got our minds. okay, on those things, which those are going to be eternal. But see, the things that we see here on this earth, the things that are given to us down here, man, they're temporal. All this is going to pass away. The fashion of this world passeth away. You see? So, you know, the thing, that's why it tells you in Colossians, all right, Colossians 1, what's it like here? 2 and 3. Not Salakia. 3 and 2, and it says, I'll start from the top. It says, if ye then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, when Yahushua Hamashiach sitteth, where Yahushua Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of Yahweh. Set your affection on the things above, not on the things in the earth, on the earth. You see, just like it tells you in Matthew 6 and 9. All right, 6 and 19, Salakia. It says, lay not for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust does corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. All right, your heart going into La'ab, meaning your mind. All right, so where your treasure is, that's where your mind is going to be. All right, and this is why we set our affection on the things above. All right, because we look to a place, all right, where you know, a new heavens and a new earth. All right, like it tells you in let me grab that real quick. 2 Peter 3 and 13, and it says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. See, these are the things that we look forward to, man. This is setting your affection on the things above. All right. This is why we do the work and give due diligence, all right, to make our election and calling sure. Because by us doing the works, man, we are constantly putting in money in that spiritual bank account. All right. So when Yahushua comes, all right, you have something to show for in your bank account. All right. You grab this talents and you flip them. All right. You have much to show. Where if you're just sitting on your ass and you're not doing nothing, man, there's nothing in your spiritual bank account. All right. It has a big fat zero. You see, we're supposed to grab this truth and multiply it, double it. Okay. We can't have this truth, all right, and hide our just like it says, you know, light up not a candle and put it under a bushel. You know, you got to let this truth shine. All right. So these things that we go through, okay, once again, are, you know, these chastisements we go through is for us to be, you know, glorified later with Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay. Let's see something real quick. Give me 1 second, Salakia. Salakia. I had another scripture I was thinking about. I couldn't remember. I thought I might have had it in my notes. All right, but it's all good. These bots. All right, so again, you know, the things that we strive for, all right, the things that we're going through is nothing, all right, because at the end of the day, we are going to be rewarded with things that you can't even fathom, man. All right, so it's all worth it at the end of the day. All right, it's all worth to suffer for Yahushua's sake. Man, it's bothering me that scripture. I forgot. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'll bring this out too, because this is what I was thinking about before in Acts. (14 and 22), and then yeah, that's the one I wanted. 14 and 22, Acts 14 and 22, and it says, conforming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You see, so in order for us to make it to that kingdom, man, we have to go through much tribulation. It's not going to be an easy gain. All right, let me go to Philippians 1 and 29. That's the one I was thinking of before. All right, Philippians 1 and 29. And it says, for unto you it is given in the behalf of Hamashiach not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake, because that's what we're called into this ministry, to suffer, man. We're not called into this ministry to straight lollygag and play games, man. We're brought into this ministry to suffer. All right, we went off, we did wickedly, so we have to suffer for it. All right, and because it was our mind to go astray, all right, seeking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we have to seek him 10 times harder. All right, and it says, having the same, let me read that again. And it says, for unto you it is given in the behalf of Hamashiach not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake, having the same conflict which ye saw in me, and now here to be in me. You see, I mean, yeah, having the same conflict which ye saw in me, and now here to be in me. All right, so we have to suffer for Yahweh's sake. All right, which at the end of the day, okay, these things that we have to bear, okay, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to give you enough where you can handle. He's never going to give you more than you can handle, man. All right, this is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, therefore, I mean, there has no temptation taken you, but such is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You see? So we're able to bear these things that come our way, man. Again, it's made to what? Break you down, to build you up stronger and stronger every time, man. And call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua for that, man. Because that's what makes us grow in this truth. You see, every time we're broken down and then we're brought back up stronger, it grows us even more. All right, a new branch grows, more fruit grows to it. All right. 1 second. That's the other one too. Yep. 1 Peter 1 and 7. And it says, I'll start from 3, and it says, this is 1 Peter 1 and 3. And it says, blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. All right. And it says, which according to his abundant mercy has begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua HaMashiach from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of Yahweh through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time, wherein ye greatly rejoice. All right, we got to greatly rejoice in these things, because we have been chosen out of the foundation of the earth to receive these things. Lord willing, we are those men. Though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua HaMashiach. All right. Whom having not seen, ye love, in whom, though now ye see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. You see? And then it says, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. And this is why we got to take, all right, the things that come our way, because why? It's the end reward is salvation, man. The end reward is you having these new bodies, all right, being able to enjoy earth and conquer death, man. Finally, you know, those things sound just like honey to the soul, man. Just to hear these things, man, is beautiful. So this is why we gotta endure when we are brought down to that lower state, man. It's nothing. Okay. So, matter of fact, let me go into let me see something real quick. Salakia. Let me just see something real quick. One second. Bear with me. All right, now that's cool. That's cool. Salakia. All right, so going back to, all right, because matter of fact, I went off of all them scriptures off of just this third thing, this third verse right here. They have, it says metaphor, okay, because we were going into the word of what? Temperate, all right? And it says, oh no, not temperate. What was the word I went into? The mastery. That's what it was. All right. The word mastery was going into to contend, struggle with difficulties and dangers. All right. So, you know, these things that we go to, I mean, like I was saying, these things that we go through, all right, all these tribulations pretty much make us stronger in striving for our mastery, all right, striving for our reward. All right. So I'm going back. It says, I'm going to read that again. I'll read it back from 9 and 24. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown. All right, because you got some people that are running this race, man, but they'll try to climb up some other way. All right, and by you climbing up some other way, you are counted as a thief and a robber. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the door. All right, that's the only way you can make it into the kingdom, man. All right, you got where it tells you go straight through the straight gate. All right, you want to go into that narrow passage where it feels like it's only one. Let me grab that real quick. Matthew 7:7. Did I put that in right? Yeah. 7:13, Salakia. And it says, Matthew 7:13, enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. You see, you don't want to go where everybody else is going, man, where that wide gate is, and everybody's taking that way because it's the easy way out. You see, you climbing up that other way. All right, you want to go enter at that straight gate where the narrow is the way to salvation. All right, like it tells you in 2nd Ezra's 7:7. All right, and it says the entrance. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Okay. And it says, if the city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, Salakia, how shall he receive this inheritance? You see? So in order for you to receive that reward, man, all right, you have to take that narrow passage, man. You got to go through the fire. All right, you got to go through these tribulations, these things that knock you down, all right, but build you back up. You know, you got that one saying that says, what doesn't, how's it go? What doesn't kill you make you stronger. All right, so at the end of the day, we go through these things to be made stronger and stronger every time. And that's why by the time it comes for us to go through the real true tribulations, all right, Lord willing, we're able to conquer these things through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, Lord willing, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, remember us in the day of his wrath and have mercy upon us, that we're able to, escape these things, and that we're able to have a strong head on our shoulders, all right, to endure. And that's why it tells you knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. Okay, so going back to 1 Corinthians 9:24, it says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown. See, we do it for that incorruptible crown. All right, because we know what lies ahead. See, we don't take this as a joke. These other people look at it as a joke, entertainment, all right, just to get by. See, we don't do that, man. We know how serious this truth is, man. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is not to be played around with. This truth is not to be played around with, man. And it says, I, therefore, so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I not as one that beateth the air. All right, yeah, you don't want to be one, all right, that wears yourself out. When you fighting, all right, you pretty much what? When you run in balance, all right. It's talking about beating the air. Let me see what it says in there. Matter of fact, just like it was saying before when you went into the word mastery, temperate, Salakia. Didn't it say something about the athletes? Matter of fact, let me see if it says something else here. Let me see what striveth says. Oh, it's in the same thing. All right. Let me see. Let me see what Run says. Performing and attaining something. Salaki, let me see what these words say. And certainly. Actually, I can go into that. It says what? It said, I therefore so run not as uncertainly. Yeah, don't run uncertain. All right. Believe in always. All right. Don't doubt yourself. All right. When you doubt, all right, it can slow you up. And it says, so fight all right. So we continue to fight without doubt, not as one that beateth the air. All right. All right, because the way you could look at it is when someone is, let's say, a boxing match, right? If you got a boxing match, when the guy that is boxing, all right, he's not about to what? He's not about to just start throwing haymakers left to right. All right, he's going to be what? Temporary. He's going to be balanced in everything he does. So he throws a jab, you know, to bring it back with the right, all in rhythm, all right? All under control, all right? Having that control that we were speaking earlier, temperate, having self-control of yourself, all right? Not as one that beateth the air, where you just throwing haymakers left and right, but you aren't hitting anything. Okay? It says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. See, going back into what? Keeping yourself under self-control. Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself shall be a castaway. All right, because you don't want to you want to be able to show others, okay, show them that proper example. All right, whereas if you are all over the place yourself, when you go to preach to others, all right, you're making yourself a castaway. All right, you pretty much being a hypocrite. All right. And then you leading people to teaching people not to be, you know, temperate in what they do. All right. Matter of fact, let me see what it says here. There's a castaway. See, not standing to the test, not approved, a reprobate, unfit for, unproved. You see? Matter of fact, it's funny because every time I think of that, my daughter has a little picture she drew when I was, you know, when she was little. And it says, take control of the test. You see? You got to take control of that test by being temperate in it. All right? Being well balanced in it. So you're able to, you know, take it the way it comes and know how to handle it. All right? You know how to handle the certain situations. When you hit with much tribulation, you're able to handle it. You know, you're able to bear it. And then when the good things come, all right, you are also rejoiced in it, which you rejoice in both good and bad. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, all right, because you can't despise the chastening of the Lord. All right, let me go back to read that again one more time. And it says, 1 Corinthians 9:24, now ye know not, and it's like a now know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain, and every man that striveth for the mastery, all right, is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. All right. So by you showing great balance, all right, you're able to teach others balance, man. You see, you're able to deliver the message where others can learn from that. Whereas if you're not in balance, okay, you are pretty much a castaway. You're going to teach someone and mislead them because you're not setting yourself as a good example. All right. So now let me grab Philippians 3. And this was actually a juicy, this is what got me to bring out this lesson. All right. The point is at 12 to 16. All right. But I'm going to start at 7. All right. Because when you read it from the blue letter, which I am on the blue letter. All right. But when you read it from your phone, it brings up, let me see what it says on the Philippians 3. All right. The top, all right, starting at 1, it says the priceless value of knowing Hamashiach. All right. And then when you come down to 12, it says pressing toward the goal. And that's where I got the title from. Okay. Which I'm going to just start from like 7, like I said, around there. All right. Because this was definitely juicy. All right. And it says Philippians 3 and 7. Let's see something real quick. Oh, okay. All this time I don't know how to, because I don't know how to use it on my computer as better than I use it on my phone. All right, so it says Philippians 3 and 7, but what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Hamashiach. Yeah, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahushua Hamashiach, my Lord. All right, so the things that we, all right, lose on this side, man, all right, are, you know, the things that we lose on this side, but gain the excellency of the knowledge of Yahushua HaMashiach. See, those are the beautiful things, man. All right, because though we lose these things here, all right, we gain something that's more precious than anything in this world, and that's the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the wisdom. Okay, and it says, "For whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach." All right, you see, so the things that we lose, all right, you got to count them as nothing. All right, it says dung, which, you know, that goes into straight shit. Okay, so the things that we lose on this side ain't nothing, man. All right, but we gain Yahushua Hamashiach's knowledge. We gain Yahushua. You see, we win Yahushua. That's what that race is. When you go into that 1 Corinthians 9 and 24, man, that's what that race is. You striving for the reward at the end, which the result is that you win Yahushua, man. You win his mercy. All right, you win his kingdom that he has prepared for us. You win that grace. You see, that's why everything that we lose on the side, it ain't nothing compared to what we're about to receive, like it said in Romans 8 and 18. Okay, and then it says, and be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, because you can't establish your own righteousness. You can't lean to your own understanding. All right, it says, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Hamashiach, the righteousness which is of Yahweh by faith, that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death, if by any means I may attain unto the resurrection of the dead. You see? So you, man, you want to win over Yahushua to know that salvation, man. All right? You see, that is more important than anything that you can ever set your mind on in this society, man. Nothing is to be compared to that. You see, your life is your life and salvation is far more important than food on this side. All right, that than the finer things of life, the glitter and glitz. All right, even your kids, your family. All right, that's why it says work out your own salvation, man. And it's not to sound like you are disrespecting your kids and your family, all right? But that's far more valuable. Yahweh Shai's wisdom and Yahweh Shai is far more valuable than anything in this world, man. That's why it says if he cannot be if let me grab it real quick. He cannot be my disciple, KJV. Yeah, Luke 14. Let me grab it from here. Luke 14. Did I pass it? Nah. There you go. 26. All right. And it says, I'll start at 25. And it says, and there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. You see, and that's not literally meaning to hate him. All right, it's just simply meaning that nothing comes first other than Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, and it says he cannot be my disciple. Whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. See, you have to bear your cross before anything. That's what goes first, man. And then it says, actually, this is good right here too. For which of you intend to build the tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, because you have to count the cost of what comes with this truth. See, that's why a lot of people don't really realize what they're getting involved with when they come into this truth, man. You see, this is not entertainment. This is not a game. You have to count the cost that comes with these things, man. Because if you don't count the cost, then you're not able to finish, all right, in this race that we're going through. It says, less happily after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, and all that behold it begin to mock him, saying this man has began to build and was not able to finish. All right, and this time right here is talking about when you go to buy a home or something, all right, and you're about to build it up, all right, you basically do what? You do the math. You count all the expenses and everything for you to finish the home. Because if you don't, then you'll be in the middle of doing your home and then you ain't got enough money to finish it. Now your home is just sitting there, done. You see? It's just sitting there, done, all right, and it goes to waste. You'll never be able to sleep in that house. Why? Because you didn't count the cost right. So it's the same thing with this truth, man. You have to count the cost of what comes with it. All right. You have to know that this truth is bittersweet. All right. It's a beautiful thing. It's sweet to know you're an Israelite and all those things, but it's also bitter when you come into it, and it has a certain side of it that is not going to sit right in your stomach, man. That's why it tells you there that there was written there in Lamentations, mournings, and woes. Because that's what's really in these scriptures, man. Lamentations, mournings, and woes. See, that's not anything that sounds, great. Lamentations, mournings, and woes goes into straight destruction, tears. So everything that comes with this truth is mostly bitter more than sweet. Sweet is the ending of it. Sweet is the beginning when you learn you're an Israelite and you break that chain out of your head, all right? You break that mental slavery. But then when you come into this truth, this is when the things start hitting you, the tribulations and things. That's why I said in Ecclesiastes 2:1, when thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You see, that's the bitter part about it. The suffering part is the bitter part about it. The things that you're going to lose on this side, that's the bitter part of it. All right. But if you're able to conquer these things, man, those that endure to the end, the saints shall be saved, like it tells you in Matthew 24. So you have to count the cost that comes with this truth and understand that nothing matters but you, all right, building this knowledge up, building this relationship with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's what goes first. All right, because if you don't count the cost, you're gonna be left back, man. You're gonna be left behind. You see? So again, a lot of these people don't understand what they're really being involved with, man. Okay. So going back to oh yeah, I was at 11. Now 12. All right, and it says, now not as though I already attained either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Yahushua HaMashiach. Brethren, I account not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. All right, going into what? Going into setting your affections again, like we said earlier. All right, the things that are in the past, man, let them be. You see, you don't ever want to go back into that into your old ways. All right, you don't want to go back to the things that you left behind already. As a matter of fact, it tells you that in let me grab that real quick. Because that's how you cast them demons back upon you, man. Because see, when we were all out of this truth, all right, we had many demons upon us. You see? And pretty much you have escaped those pollutions. You have casted off those demons. All right, but you're looking for a way to go back and bring them back upon you. And what happens is when you bring those demons back upon you, man, you bring 7 more spirits worse than you had the first time. All right, and it tells you that in Matthew 4:12 and 43, and it says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. Yeah, because these demons, they pretty much need a host. All right, a good movie, which is funny because I wanted to do a video on that, on the movie Fallen. If you haven't seen that movie Fallen, that's a great movie with Denzel Washington. All right, and what it shows you is how demons jump onto one person into another. You see, so pretty much when you come into this truth, you cleaned your spirit and those demons left you. But see, those demons are always around. All right, the thing is, you got to keep yourself firm in this truth, all right, and always praying to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that you are not led into temptation, that he deliver you from evil. All right, so pretty much keep them wicked spirits off of you. All right, so what happens is they need a host. Okay, and if you give it room for it to jump back on you, that's what happens. They'll jump back on you because that's the only way they pretty much, get a thrill out of everything. Okay. So it says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and finding none. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. All right. And then it says, then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of the man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So again, these demons need a host, but when you come into this truth, you basically push them off of you. They're not around you no more. Well, they're around you, but they're not on you no more. But they're always looking to come back. And when you go back into the world, all right, that's basically saying what it says right here. I will return into my house from whence I came out. You pretty much go back into the ways that you were, doing before, all right, where it was all empty, swept, garnished, all right, you was clean, you was free from you doing all that wickedness, but now you just open that door again, all right, you put that key right back into that lock and unlock that damn door, And what ends up happening is that you get what? You get them spirits again, but you get 7 spirits more added on top of that one spirit. You see? And then they enter into you and they dwell there and they stay there. And then your last state of the man is worse than the first. All right. Now you're more bugged out than you was the first time. And that's what ends up happening to a lot of brothers, man. They I don't even want to say like that, not a lot, but that's what happens to people. They go back into the world. All right. And when they go back into the world, all right, now they more bugged out than you ever seen them. Why? Because they allowed themselves to come into this truth, escape the pollutions. All right, let me grab that. When you have escaped the pollutions, KJV, which is 2 Peter 2:20, it says, for if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, all right, it says they are again entangled therein and overcome, the latter end is worse than with them than the beginning. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after that they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. You see, it's better that you ain't even know this truth, all right, than for you to go and return back to your vomit, basically, all right? That's why it's important, man, for you to count the cost. Because once you escape the pollutions of this world and basically have tasted the glory of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, tasted this knowledge, seen certain miracles happen right in front of you, all right, and then you go back into the world. That's why you'll leave you bugged. No man that put his hand to the plow looking back is made for the king is made for the kingdom, all right. So going back to Philippians 3 and what was I? Oh, yeah, 13. And it says, brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua Salakia, of Yahweh and Yahushua HaMashiach. You see, going to what? Pressing toward that goal, man. Okay. And then it says, let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded, and if anything yet be otherwise minded, Yahweh shall reveal even this unto you. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule, let us mind the same thing. All right. Matter of fact, let me read that in the NLT real quick, because I know it gets juicy like that sometimes, so you get a better understanding. I'll read it from 7 again down. It says, I once thought these things were valuable, but now I consider them worthless because of what Hamashiach has done. Yes, everything else is worthless when compared with the infinite value of knowing Yahushua HaMashiach, my Lord. For his sake, I have discarded everything else, counting it all as garbage, so that I could gain Hamashiach and become one with him. I no longer count on my own righteousness through obeying the law. Rather, I become righteous through faith in Hamashiach. For Yahweh's way of making us right with himself depends on faith. You see? And what does it say in Hebrews 11:6? Without faith, it is impossible to please him. Okay? And then it says, I want to know Hamashiach and experience the mighty power that raised him from the dead. I want to suffer with him, sharing in his death, so that one way or another, I will experience the resurrection from the dead. See, going into that salvation. All right? Pressing toward the goal. It says, I don't mean to say that I have already achieved these things or that I have already reached perfection, but I press on to the process, that perfection for which Yahushua HaMashiach first possessed me. No, dear brothers and sisters, I have not achieved it, but I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which Yahweh, through Hamashiach, Yahushai, is calling us. Let all who are spiritually mature agree on these things. If you disagree on some point, I believe Yahweh will make it plain to you. But we must hold on to the progress we have already made. Ooh, you see, we got to hold on to that progress that we made, man. Once you win this truth, you win it. You win it. And all this work that you've put in, all these things that you have done, you will be a damn fool, man, if you just to let it all go to waste. Because that's what happens when you go back into the world, when you just start forgetting about these things, man. All your labors, okay, are put to waste. See, but as long as you continue in your labor, all right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said what? He said, I'm not to forget your labor of love. All right. The things, let me grab that real quick, as in Hebrews. Not to forget the labor of love, KJV. Hebrews 6:10, and it says, for Yahweh is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. You see, he's not going to forget the things that you have done, all right, in his truth. See, at the end of the day, man, if we are, Lord willing, we are those men, if you are the elect, all right, if you are that 144,000, man, your name is going to be in that book. See, we're going to be in the kingdom, and we're going to teach our children, and we're going to be in the book. You see, we're going to be in the book showing you the things that we went through, you know, as stories to tell our kids forever and ever and ever. You see? So the things that we do, man, it's not going to be forgotten by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right? This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So our labor of love is not in vain. All right, we will be remembered for the things that we do in this truth, man. Okay. But let me see what else was there. This is 17. It says, dear brothers and sisters. Matter of fact, let me go back to KJV. All right. And it says, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk, so as ye have us for an example. All right. Which, you know, going into that mark, pretty much, I believe it goes into the same thing as that Dawah, basically. It might not be the same word. All right. To look, observe, contemplate, to mark, to fix one's eyes upon, direct one's attention to anyone, to look to, take heed to thyself. All right. A distant mark looked at, the goal or end one has in view. Let me read that one more time. And it says, what was I? It says, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk, so as ye have us for an example. All right. Well, to observe. Okay. Observe them which are the ones that are walking in the true faith, man. Walking in the true footsteps of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. And those that do walk are the ones that are going to receive that mark. Lord willing, we are those men are going to receive that mark, that Dawah, that mark of exemption from judgment, man. You see, Lord willing, that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have mercy upon us when the time comes for judgment, all right, and that he looked the other way, and he counts us worthy. It says, for many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you, even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Hamashiach, all right, because you do got, this is where you have to have the spirit of discernment to know who are the ones that are really in this truth and who are not. All right, because you got many people that claim to be in this truth, but right now, as we speak, man, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is literally showing you who are the true men of the Lord, man, who are the ones that are really being dealt with, all right, as opposed to the ones that are the true enemies of the cross, all right? You get all these other damn camps, Sakari, all right? Sakar, so I call them Sakarno, all right? You got Sakarno, you got IUIC, you got HOI, you got GOCC, man, there's a whole bunch of them. All of them are being exposed that they are the enemies of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Why? Because they're not walking in the footsteps of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right? And it says, whose end is destruction, whose power is their belly, all right? Whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. And it's showing right before your eyes that these people are all carnal. All right, they're all about the glory of the things in this world, and all that is going to bring them to shame. They're going to be confounded on that. All right, and it says, for our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior in the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the work whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. All right, and this is another thing we're striving for, them vile bodies being changed into them glorious bodies, man, that will never be able to go off again. All right, everything about us is going to be perfect. We're not going to be able to get sick. You know, we're going to be eating real food. All right, we're not going to be able to think folly. We're not going to be able to do wickedness. You know, if you are not thirsting for righteousness, all right, and hungry for righteousness, man, you bugged out. You see, that means you're just part of the wicked foundations of this earth that's set up. Because those that want to walk in righteousness want to get up out of here, man. We can't stand being here anymore. You see? So these are things that we strive for. These are rewards, all right, that we have to press toward. Again, pressing toward the goal. That's the name of the lesson. So you got to press toward these goals. Push harder, more than ever, to make your election and calling sure, given that diligence, man. So, you know, through the Spirit, I'm pretty much ended on that. All right. So with that being said, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom.